everybody. Guess who's back? It's Lisa, the House Money Mama. I'm here again. This is week 4, and we are coming into our next session for the Path to Home Ownership Home Buying course. We've been having a great time so far these past few weeks. We got a lot of more people still coming in, getting acclimated to our group and everything. And here, let me do this right now. So I want to set up where, excuse me, we have more people coming in to join us. That's going to be fantabulous. Tonight is going to be an absolutely great night. Tonight we have our topic where we're discussing the real estate part. This is not the part that I do. The real estate part where the realtor is actually going to be helping you to understand how that process works. So we're talking about the house hunting part where you actually physically go and see the places that you potentially may want to buy. We're talking about placing the offer, the real estate contract. There's contracts to this thing. You have to put everything in writing, because if it's not in writing, it ain't real. We talk about attorney review, final walkthrough, a lot of things we're going to talk about tonight. Actually, I get to sit back and listen and learn because I'm not a realtor. I'm the money lady. So I'm going to be listening in while Dion Branch teaches on tonight. So I'm not really good with, scripted introduction, so I'm not even going to try to read nothing off or anything like that. This is my girl. We've been working together for the past couple of years. She's an amazing person. I've seen the way that she works with customers directly because we're a team. I've also, gotten feedback from other customers in regards to how she helped them. She goes to bat for her customers. When other people was not getting credits, this lady was coming back with $5,000 and $10,000 seller credits. And I'm like, how do you do that? I need her on my team. So that's what you should be saying right now. I need her on my team. So to not belabor the introduction tonight, I just want to bring on my friend, my colleague. This is my main squeeze for all the rest of y'all roots. I'm sorry, I love y'all, but really, we work together really well. All right, so anyway, I'm bringing on Dion Branch. I'm going to add her into the stream, and she's going to talk about this part of the process for a real estate transaction. Everybody, welcome Dion.
Hey guys, hey, I'm so excited to be here. I am so excited.
Welcome.
Thank you. I've been seeing you go on for the last few weeks and talking all about the financing and the credit. I'm like, oh, I can't wait my turn. My turn's coming. So I am really excited to be there. So be here today. So, hey, who's out there? Put it in the chat. Say your name so I can say hello to you. I'm excited to just see if, the people that's out there. So
I see Paul. Hey, Paul. Welcome back.
Hey, Paul. How you doing? All right. I don't know if I can see the chat, Lisa, so you gotta tell me who's out there.
Oh, that's okay. I'm watching it for you. Yep. I'll take on that responsibility tonight. So I see Nene. Hey, Nene.
Hey, Nene.
Hello, Amber.
I see. Paul Harris, and Derek.
Yep. Paul and Derek. Yep.
I'm like, hey. All right. So first of all, hello. I'm glad to see you guys. Thank you for joining us today. Side note. If you all see me go down, of course, I have one of these crazy seats right now. And so I might have to kind of take a break and lift myself up because I feel myself going down right now. But I'm going to try to avoid that. I'm going to try. So, all right. I'm so glad that you guys are out there. And today, like Lisa said, we're going to talk about the home buying process. And once you get that pre-approval and what, the steps that we have to do. But so Lisa, let's take us to the presentation. So
of course, happy to do so.
All right. So I think this one. So let's just go back to the first one. So my name is Dion Branch, and I am a broker and a team leader. So I have a team of agents that actually work with me. So you may work with me or you may work with one of my team members. When we're looking for a house, sometimes you might want to work with one of them, but you are always welcome to work with me. And so my brokerage that I work with is EXP Realty, and my team name is Allure Dream Homes. So, all right. So for me, I've sold over 100 homes within the last 6 years. So I've been a realtor for about 6 years now, and I service all of the Chicagoland area. So we have team members that service the north side. We also have some team that service the south suburbs as well as the city. So we cover it all, the whole Chicagoland area. So you need a house, we're here to serve you. So all right. So this year, I know Lisa's probably talked to you about goals because that's definitely the first thing about real estate. Lisa, you shared with them about goals this year? Yeah, I'm sure. And so my
You
goal,
know I did.
I know
You
you did.
already know. So maybe you didn't see the first one. Paul and Derek will let you know who we are. Can y'all put it in the chat? What are we this year? Because we got our own name. We got a team name going on. So
We
everybody should
got
know what
team.
we are.
Okay, I missed the team name. So yeah. So
We the
my and so
23s. We the 23s. Just like Michael Jordan was 23, we the 23s this year.
okay, and what's the 23 stand for you guys? What does that mean?
Let's see. Yep. Paul, I see
Anybody?
Paul wrote it in. He wrote in 23.
Right. Anybody can share with me what the 23 means?
So because it's going to take a second for the comments to come through while they're
Mm-hmm.
typing in, I do have a little bit of feedback because we've talked outside of Facebook after the some of these sessions and everything. So
Mm-hmm.
what some of the people have been saying is that this is, oh well, Paul already came back, he was quick. That this is the year. So I know for them, I don't want to tell all their business because they're gonna have an awesome
Yeah.
testimony when we do get them to the closing table. But they have been through hell and high water, excuse my expression, from some people that were unscrupulous, people that didn't have integrity, some people that led them in the wrong direction. And so now they're overcomers. They've come past all of that. Now they're in the year where this is going to happen for them. This is the year.
So
So 23
the
for them, that
23
means this is
is
their
the year.
year. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so that's what, for me, just like you guys, I set a goal. So this year, my goal is to help 60 people find a home, help to place 60 people in their new home. So I really want you guys to help me meet my goal because I want to help you. The thing that I love the most is when Lisa and I, when we find that person and we get them their home and they get in the house and they love it and they tell us all the great things about their house, it is just a joy for us. And so I want that joy. I want to receive that joy 60 times and I want to give that joy out 60 times. And then the other goal that I've made this year is to educate in the home buying process. And so some of you all may know, like Lisa and I used to go live every week to talk about home buying. And so that's our goal. Like we always, educating you is definitely a goal for us because we know that it makes you a better buyer when we're out here telling you and educating you on the home buying process. So,
Absolutely. And it makes it easier for you when you understand more about what's going on. Buying a home is usually for most people the biggest transaction of their whole entire life. And being, kind of pulled through it and not really understanding what's happening can be a little scary and unnerving. So the education is definitely something that's going to help you as the customer to be able to feel more comfortable and understand a little bit more what's going on and why. And so it's not as scary. We take the edge off that
right.
fear. When we talked about fear being false evidence appearing real, you could face everything and rise. You could forget everything and run, but we choose to face everything and rise.
Yeah, yeah, and that's it. And educated buyer is the best buyer because at this point we're talking you through the process. My team, our slogan is to hold your hand throughout the home buying process, so you don't have to worry because we know that we're going to make sure that we have everything in place for you. So we definitely thrive off of that. All right, so I'm gonna skip this slide. So are you ready? Are you ready to buy a house? Right. So, so I know Lisa's talked about this, so I'm not even going to talk about it a whole lot, but it's in my presentation. So there's some things that you need to have. You need to have that steady income. Yes, yes, you're ready. I see it. So you have to have the steady income. You have to have 2 years at the same company or industry. And I know Lisa's kind of talked about this. Sometimes there's different things. You might be self-employed, and there's different things that she needs. So the thing is, are you ready? And to be ready is to be ready to provide your lender with the things that she needs in order to get you to the finish line, right? So she's the begin and then she's the end. And so how do you do that? How does she do that? She needs your help. She needs my help in order for us to get you to be successful. So we got to have some cash for the down payment and the closing. Sometimes I could do some wonders to help out with you with this cash. We'll talk about that. You need some payment stuff, some bank statements, and you need a low to medium debt. So, and I know we've talked about this before in years about making sure while you're planning, you're decreasing your debt, you're working on your bills, and you're saving money, right? So, all right. All right. So just to, again, just kind of start off where we need to start. When you're getting ready to buy a house, the first thing that you need to have is a pre-approval. And so Lisa is the lender that you're working with for. So the first thing is you choosing the lender. You've already chose one. You've got a great one right here educating you on the home buying process. And so I think the one thing that we have a problem with, fill out the application. That's it. That's how it starts. Don't be fearful of the one thing. Just fill it out. It don't hurt. There's many a times that Lisa and I've sent Lisa a person, I said, hey, did you talk to them? She's like, they didn't fill out the application. How can we get you where we need you to be if you don't fill out the application? Just fill it out. Just fill it out.
Right.
Just
You got to take your steps.
right, right. That's your first step. And sometimes your answer may not be the one that you want right away. But what we do is provide you with a solution of how to get there. And the only way we can do that is if you fill out the application.
Yep.
So fill out the application. I don't know how to say it, but to say it, fill out the application, right? So, and Lisa, I'm sure, when you get ready and to fill out the application, sometimes it's great to talk to Lisa because there's different things that she might need you to do. And you're a couple, you're not married, she might need you to do two separate applications.
I
But
do.
right. I know. See, we worked together so long. I know her stuff too. But I let her do her job and she let me do my job. So we good with that. But
Mhm.
I
Yep.
listen so that when I'm talking to you, I can say, okay, she gonna tell you this, but I'm gonna tell you this right now. Right. So first thing
Right.
to do is to fill out the application. So we're gonna assume that you have filled out the application, right? And you've
Mhm.
talked to Lisa, you've made a plan, you've discussed what you want, right? So this is the part, right? You're talking to Lisa, you're talking to me. What are you looking for? What are you looking for? Okay, guys, in the chat, tell me, what are you looking for? What areas are you interested in? How many bedrooms
Mhm.
we want? We want to see it right here in the chat because we know we're going to claim it right here, right? Claim it right here. So I want 4 bedrooms, 2 baths. I want 3 bedrooms, 1.5 bath. I want to be
Yeah.
in Beverly. I want to be in Ashburn. I want to be in South Loop. I want to be in the Loop. Where you want to be? I want to be in the suburbs. And this is important because a lot of times I may ask you, where do you want to be? And you say, I want to be in South Suburbs.
Yeah.
How many South Suburbs is there? Right. So it's really important to know where you want to be, right? So, hey, right there, South Highland Country Club Hills, 2,900 square feet. Yes, yes. And your square feet is above ground. So that's not including the basement when we look at the
Right.
square feet. Okay. So, but that's it. Know what you want. And this is the time when you're preparing to get all your documents in order, or trying to whatever you might be working on at the moment. This is your time to be looking around, drive a neighborhood, see,
Mhm.
go in the neighborhood in the nighttime, in the daytime, go in the neighborhood, uh, during a busy time like 5 p.m., right?
Yeah.
Go in that neighborhood, see what it's like. Because go in the neighborhood at 7:30 when you get ready to go to work, 8:30 in the morning or whatever. Go to that neighborhood, right? Because you might go to a neighborhood, and I don't want to talk about a neighborhood, but say for instance, you go to Dalton, Riverdale area. Have you ever got caught by the trains over there?
Uh-oh.
OMG. But you have to know that you don't want to find. So let me tell you, we bought a house. I've been in my house for almost 30 years, right? Yeah, like, yes, many times caught by those trains, right?
Right.
So I have, so 30 years ago, we bought this house, okay? And my husband would drive me to the house. And I went to bed the first night in the house, and there was this. It's like, what's that? He was like, those train tracks you had me drive over every time you wanted to come see this house. So the trains used to sit behind our house. And
Oh,
it
wow.
wasn't like, so we are in a cul-de-sac area, so it really wasn't right directly behind my house. That's why I didn't pay attention to it. But I'm in the cul-de-sac, so right as you turn, the train tracks are behind the houses over there. But he's like, the 50 times you had me drive past this house, and you but at least there was a way for me to go around the train. So this is
Right.
the things that you want to know. I mean, we lived over off of Pulaski and 115th. With that time, we were in an apartment, but we used to zoom down 115th before we had to get there before 9 o'clock, because otherwise the kids would be late, right? So these are things that you want to know, right? About a
Yeah.
neighborhood, about a community. How many bedrooms? So it's a little. And what's the school district like? Do you have
Mm.
children? Do you care? Maybe you don't have children, and the school district doesn't matter. But these are important things. So while we're looking, because now you know, okay, I love South Highland. I love Homewood. They have good schools. I love this area. I want to be up north because I want to go to one of my children to go to one of the better schools up north. So
Mhm.
all of those different things, they make sense. What style house do you like? I had a client, her and her husband would took me. The wife would pick the house. The husband would get to the door, walk in, walk out. We did that. We did that for at least 5 times before I
Wow.
sat them down and I said, your husband does not like bungalows. She said, what?
Mm.
She said, what? What? And he looked at me and said, but he never told her. He never told her. We had to go through this. And so that's the thing. So have a conversation, sit down with your significant other, you know. So those are different things that you need to do. It's a lot that goes into the home buying before you even get started. And so a lot of times people, and I've had a client that we went in one house, she knew exactly what she wanted, and that was the easiest client. Alisa and I were
Yes.
like, wow.
Wow. And I think we got her clothes in like 15, 20 days.
Yes,
Yep.
right.
I
So
know exactly who you're talking about. I remember.
yeah,
I remember
exactly.
her.
She knew what she wanted, and that was good. So do the research ahead of time. You're learning about the process, but also educate yourself on the types of homes in the area. South Holland
Yeah.
has a lot of great homes in those areas. They have some split level homes, split level with the basement. Some have a sub basement. Do I
Right.
want just a do I need a sub basement? Do I just need the regular split level and an extra basement isn't needed? The extra basement is a nice to have. A garage is a nice to have, or is it required? Right? So those are the things that you guys need to kind of think
Awesome.
about. So where do you search for homes, right? So if you are a client with me, I will always set you up. Once you get pre-approved, I'll set you up on the MLS. And so you that search is a defined search. So that helps me when you know what areas you want, because I can only set the search up for the areas that you tell me that you want.
Hmm.
So and then what you'll get is automated searches response. So as soon as the property hits the market, I'll let you know that that property hits the market. If you want to just search around and look around, and like right now, I'm telling you, educate yourself on the process, you can always go to my website. I have a search on there. So it's DionSalesHomes.com. You can always come to my site and look around, and I can set up some alerts for you on that site as well. There's open houses. You can be notified through different apps if there's an open house. Go ahead, just look at the open house. But when they ask you, do you have a realtor, you say yes. Dion Branch is my realtor. So, so I give you permission to go to the open house, but you tell Dion Branch your realtor. So, or if you have another realtor, you just let them know you have another realtor. But I'm the better realtor. I'm the best. I just mess around. You could go look at some new construction, look at the model homes. You can look at Zillow or Redfin, right? And if you have a realtor that you're working for, you don't want to click the like button or anything like that, but just take a picture of it. This is what I tell my clients all the time. Take a picture of it and then just send it to me, right? Just send me a text like, I like this house. I like this house. And then that way we can kind of keep a track. But don't like it or anything. Just, take the pictures and stuff. So, and this helps you. So either if you haven't been pre-approved, or after you've been pre-approved, this is the thing. So, yeah. All right.
So, if you don't mind, I'd like to jump in just a little bit here. So,
Mm-hmm.
when you have selected a realtor, the better thing for you to do to make things a lot easier for you is if you actually look at the listings that they send you. Once you've got set up with Dion, you told her what it is that you would like to purchase, in the area and things like that. Just make sure you're checking your email and then look at what's being sent to you from the MLS. Sometimes people get thrown off by things that are in Redfin and Zillow. Places like that, they're not bad if you're not working with anybody, but once you're working with somebody, speed is it's critical. especially when you're the one that's looking to buy, because you're not the only one who's looking at these homes. So when you look at Zillow and Redfin and places like that, those homes have actually already been on there. They're usually like a little older, they're kind of delayed. So
Right.
when you work with the realtor, they get what we call fresh listings. So as soon as those listings hit the market, they're in that realtor's MLS, and then that MLS recognizes it in your search and it sends it to you, as
Right.
opposed to
So
you going on to one of those other sites, a third party site, and whatever they have available whenever it comes on it, because it filters through something else before it comes to their site. So it's good to keep in mind that if you really want the freshest leads, you want the freshest listings, then go with your realtor every single time. Because I have seen people find something on Redfin. Oh, I really like this house. Okay, well, sorry, I know it says on Redfin is available, but in all actuality, it's not,
it's
because
not. Yeah.
while they were doing whatever they were doing, somebody else liked it and they negotiated a contract.
Yeah,
So
and that's why I don't definitely didn't put Trilio down there, because I do see that their stuff is later, and then
yeah,
like Lisa is saying, my alerts come. I can set you up for real time alerts. So as soon as the agent hits the button,
thin button,
then
right?
right, you receive an alert as well that says that this property just hit the market. So that's important, especially when it's a time where, or you're looking in an area where it's really hot. A lot of you're
More
everybody is kind of
competitive.
searching, right, more
Yep.
competitive. Yes. So then I definitely want to make sure you have those real time alerts, and we're going out that day, right? So
Yes.
especially if we try to make sure that, okay, you see it. A lot of times we'll Lisa gives me the update at the beginning. As soon as I get the pre-approval, she lets me know. She says, Derek's approved for 300,000 and his taxes cannot be any higher than $5,000 for the year.
Mhm.
Okay.
Mhm.
And that's because she's looked at your debt to what does it say? I
Debt
always
to
get it.
income ratio, DTI.
Yeah, she's looked at your DTI, determined how much what you can go for. So that's why, and that's set up in your search criteria so that we know that we're not looking at houses that don't meet that criteria.
Right.
All right. Yeah. So that's really important. And a lot of times it's hard for you when you're on Redfin, Zillow, and things like that. You're like, oh, I love this house. I'm approved for 300, but this house is 380. Can I get it? No.
That'll be a no. In the
That's
in the words of Simon Cowell, that's a no for me.
exactly right. And unfortunately, you could be a house that's 300,000, but the house is not home, doesn't have any homeowner exemptions on it, and so then the taxes could be 8,000, 10,000.
Yeah.
So I'm sure Lisa will share more with that about that, but we can't get that house either.
Hmm.
So it's very important that we work with Lisa doing, even with negotiations.
Yeah, you can't
No,
negotiate taxes.
not
There's no,
taxes.
the
Right.
county does not negotiate. There are no
Yeah.
negotiations for taxes.
Right. If the property, say for instance, you're approved for 300 and maybe the property is, it depends on the market. Okay. So we'll talk about a market right now. So right now in this market, if this house was on the market for 310. Right. Okay. So the house is you approved for 300 and the house is on the market for 310. I could
Mhm.
possibly offer 300,000. Okay. But you're already $10,000 under. So
Oh,
say
yeah.
for instance, somebody else comes along. Now they've offered 310. I'd rather look at houses in my price range and say,
Yeah.
do you have the money for your down payment, for your closing costs? I'll look at something that's in my price range of 300, or maybe 290, 280, right? So then I'm looking at 280. I say I'll add on some additional. There's a lot of different things that they can do. Who heard me loud and clear? They're like, I heard you loud and clear. But yeah. So let's say I'll look at a house. If you approve that 300, I'll look at a house of 285, 290. Okay. Now I can add on $10,000 to my offering price. I can offer them 300, and then I can ask them for $10,000 credit towards closing.
Mm-hmm.
Now you've got a good possibility of winning that bid because it depends, right? You've kind of offered more than the asking price, and you're also getting a credit back. Now, maybe the market doesn't require us to offer more than the asking price, but I'm in my price range, and the house has been on the market for a little while now. We
Yeah.
we can look at it. We can negotiate a little bit, but sometimes don't get mad at me when you say I want to do 250 and I want to negotiate. You like it, somebody else like it. And sure enough, as soon as I say we go look at it, oh well, somebody else put an offer at the same time. It's so hard to determine. So then, well, why did I lose? They didn't even counter offer. No, they didn't have to. They do not have to counter offer. They
Yeah.
can they can either just deny your offer based off of insult. They were like, oh, I'm just insulted. I love this house. This house
Right.
is my everything. Right? And then they
That can
can just
happen.
say, right?
Yep,
So
that
you
can
have to
happen.
be there's a lot of factors in placing the offer. And a lot of times everybody always thinks, oh well, I'm just gonna the house is 300, I'm gonna start at 230 and then they'll negotiate. You know what they might negotiate? 300. I seen a counter offer like
Right.
that. Right. They counter
Right.
offer the price because that's what they feel their house is worth. The
Mm-hmm.
agent has done a market analysis of the property, looked around to determine what the value of the home is for in that neighborhood,
Yeah.
and that value of that home is 300. Just because you came along and you feel like you want to give them 230, they ain't got to take that. They
That's
just,
right.
some people be like, I'll just wait. I'll just wait for the other person. So these are these are the things. A lot of people, we're not in that market. So
Right.
you know
You know
that's
what? You might want to even go to your next slide because aren't you already talking about negotiation? Isn't that on your next slide?
let me see. All
Making a
right.
offer.
Yes. Right. So yeah, so that's it. We looked at the house. We decided that we love this house and we're making offers. So that's what we're doing. That's what we're talking about in this negotiation. So
Yep.
um, but at the point, let's say you put in a good offer and that offer is accepted, right? So now we've put in a good offer. We've got you some credit towards your closing, right? So uh, we've then the next thing is, yeah, because we're talking about offers being accepted and counter offers, but your offers accepted, they need earnest money. So
Mm-hmm.
what is earnest money, right? So earnest money is that thing that says, I am a serious buyer. I
Yep.
really like your house, and I'm going to put some cash down to prove to you that I like your house. So you've accepted my offer, and my offer is that I'll put down $1,000 for earnest money. Say,
Yeah.
for instance, the market is hot. This house is in Beverly, good area, an area that's hot. A lot of people are trying to get this one house. Whatever area it is, you might want to put down $3,000 for earnest money. So the earnest money is really that shows I am a good faith buyer, and I'm going to put this $1,000 down to say that I really want this house. because then they understand that, and you understand there's a possibility of losing that money.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so the only times that you lose your earnest money is when you get to the end of a transaction, or you've gone through what we call attorney review period. So attorney review period is after your offer is accepted, you put the earnest money down, you can have a home inspection. Okay, so that's an attorney review period. And maybe that might be in my next slide and we'll talk more about it. Hopefully it is. But during that time, you you some negotiating goes back and forth and you come to agreement. So your earnest money is safe during that period of time. So now you all have agreed on if any home repairs are going to be done, things, if are they going to give you an extra credit because we found a little crack in the wall or things. It cannot be cosmetic things. It has to be, uh, more of like electrical, plumbing, things like that. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So now you have that earnest money, and at the end of that attorney review period, now you've all agreed. So at that point, that money can be in jeopardy. The only time after that point that you can get your money back is if your lending has been denied.
Yeah.
And if your lending is denied, you did something that Lisa told you not to do.
More than likely.
Right?
Yeah, because I'm
You
not
went
big
out
on
and
getting files
right,
denied.
right,
Yeah, foundation
right.
definitely would be a major, for a lot of people, foundation issues would be a major thing that they would want to negotiate, and
Right.
potentially walk away from a deal if they don't agree.
On it. Right. So right.
That's it.
So those are the things that they look at. They look at your roof, they look at your electrical, your plumbing, and the foundation. I think those are really like the major things that I observe. If it's
Mhm.
something about the doorknob doesn't turn, the light switch that I don't like, those are minor things. Of inspector is always going to say that the chain light switch isn't to standard because it's an Illinois standard, but that's not something we're going to ask for. We're going to ask for things that are big issues. Okay. And
Right.
then during that time, you can ask for if, yeah, you can ask, you can ask for if, you can ask for a credit during that time. So that's here you go, that's what we're talking about. Your offer was accepted, you've given your earnest money to the title company or to the brokerage. So those are normally, or the attorney's office. So those are the three places that'll receive earnest money. Your agent, your real estate agent, me, I'm not receiving any money, earnest money. Okay. So you're
Right.
never going to write a check or anything to any of your realtors. You're going to do it to the brokerage, to the title company, or to the attorney's office. And
Yep.
we've talked here. I've already talked, I talk too much. We've already talked about the home inspection and the repairs. So after the offer is accepted, you have 2 days to turn in your earnest money. Typically, that's kind of like standard. 2 days to turn your earnest money in, and then 5 days to do a home inspection. So
Okay.
your home inspection. Okay, thank you. Your home inspection. Normally, the home inspection is about $300 to $400, and that home inspection is for you. So that is so you can know everything about this house. And so during that time, I tell my clients, walk with him. He's gonna talk and tell you a bunch of different things about this
Yep.
house. And these are things that you want to know because the home inspection isn't just for you to know what you're going to ask for in the attorney review. It's also for you to plan for later on, right? So
Right.
it's like, okay, I'm in this house, and he told me that my furnace will probably last me another 6 to 8 years. Not something that I really have to ask for on the home inspection, because in the attorney review, because the furnace is working. So you couldn't really ask for that in the attorney review, but it's for your information to
Right.
know, okay, maybe that'll be my first big purchase.
I forget
Maybe,
who was the person that we brought on the when we did Water Cooler Wednesday last year. We brought on an inspector, and he referred to a home inspection as being a report card for the
yeah,
house. I thought that
yeah.
was a really, really good way to look at it. It's like it's the report card for your house.
Yeah, and that's it. Like, and it's good to sometimes maybe have a home inspection after you're in the house later on, a couple of years down, help you identify like what are some good things. It said James.
It
It
might have been
said,
things.
okay,
I
so
don't
yeah.
remember.
So, like what are the good things? What are the next things that I need to do? So, a home inspection is this is the best time to walk with the home inspector. So, the home inspection is for you. And then here we have the appraisal. The appraisal is for the lender.
Right.
So they're going through the house to understand, is this house worth the money that we are about to pay? We're about to loan somebody some money. And is this house worth $300,000? And
Hmm.
so that's what they look for in appraisal. So that's how you think about it. A lot of people get confused, like home inspection, appraisal, what is it? They both look at the house, but the home inspection is for you and the appraisal is for the lender. And
Yeah.
so those are we talked about three things. Those are the first three things that are due at the beginning of the transaction. So a lot of times people ask me, well, how much money do I need? So after your contract is accepted, you really need $1,000 for your earnest money.
Earnings.
You need your home inspection is about $300 to $400. And Lisa, how much is appraisal going for?
On the average right now, they're about six, maybe 650.
Okay. So that's about $2,000, let's say $2,500 comfortably that you should
Hmm.
have ready when we're buying this house. So that have that money ready, because we need that within 3 days of your offer being accepted.
Yep.
Okay. And so then now okay, I've got all this done, and then you'll work with Lisa the rest of the way. She's gonna take you to the finish line with the rest of the stuff. And then she'll explain to you what money you need at the closing.
Right.
So home insurance, Lisa's gonna ask you to do you have somebody you want to work with for home insurance? We have some referral partners that we work with for home insurance, but home insurance is needed for your property, because with your loans with FHA, home insurance is one of the things that is included within your mortgage payment. So,
Yeah.
and it's required. So, not that, I'll do it later. No, you can't. It's got they she has to know. So, and then then she finalizes your mortgage deals. That's what I said. She takes you to the home stretch, right? She's asking a bunch of information and stuff. And then we do have a final walkthrough before we close. So typically, I like to do it the day before closing. I don't want to do a final walkthrough too early. I like to do it the day before, because I want us to see the house and know that everything is in order before you sign those documents that say this is your house. Last thing we want to do is do a final walkthrough 2, 3 days before, and something, Lord forbid, happens. You know, somebody burglarizes.
Yeah.
Lately squatters. Just different things like that could happen. So we just We have to make sure we stay. Uh, all right. Close and breakdown. Whew. All
So
right.
we actually went over,
This
we did an actual breakdown of a close and disclosure last week. So that was one of the things
okay.
I taught on. So you don't
So
have to go
all
through
of
that.
that's in there. Good. Because
Mhm.
that's really Lisa's thing. So
Yeah,
because all I was gonna say is there's a lot of things that are included in your closing fee. And these are some of them. And so
right.
Lisa shared that with you. And so that when you want to know what's included in my closing costs and why you can't tell me my closing costs. A lot of our clients ask us this all the time. Like she tries to give you the best estimate that she
Right,
can, but it's not that easy, guys. So we get it a lot. Like, well, how come you can't tell me my closing costs? Well, we know you want to know,
yeah,
but she'll give you an idea of what you need, and then
right.
that way we can then if she gives you a little higher number, then you can be happy when you had to bring less.
Come back with a lower, right.
Right,
Exactly.
right. But there's a lot of different things that are included in it in your closing breakdown. So closing day. This is the
Closing
day.
day,
This is
closing day.
right, right. So here it's like this is a big day. You definitely have Lisa will tell you, before you get there, the title company will tell you, but you definitely have to have your earnest money. You're gonna have to have a cashier's check. And then uh beyond that, my role is for us to have a party while we're there. So but I don't
The
know. Any
celebration, that's
questions?
right.
Right. Right.
Well, and at the closing table, that's when you sign all the documents. You signing all those documents and you're waiting for the loan to fund. And, like Dion said, that's your time to celebrate. That's when you actually get the keys in hand. The house is yours. You can
Yeah,
go and
right.
a lot of people leave closing and go directly to the house and just walk through to say, "We did it," So that's the closing day is always the I think it's the best day, and I think the clear to close day is probably the second best.
Best. Yeah, yeah. Yes. I think the clear the clothes, I like that day better. I do for me. I mean, I like the closing day, but it's just kind of like, whew, okay, we clear the clothes. Yay.
You
And
did
then
it, yeah,
everything else is just kind of like, okay, let me make sure that everything is in order for them.
yeah.
eh, Right. So, good.
So, an excellent job tonight, Dion. As always, you're wonderful, you're great, you're awesome, and I love you. And
Thank
it's
you.
6:48. So we have a few minutes actually still left. If anybody has questions about anything that we talked about tonight, go ahead and throw that in the chat and we can address all of your questions right now, live, not quite in person, but live
Right. Right.
on Facebook and also on stream. We're streaming on YouTube right now as well. So
Okay.
so we went through oh, is your number in there? Her number's on there. Can
Yes.
you guys see it?
Can you see it's kind of light, but my number is 773-802-6121.
I just put it in the chat too. I think I
Okay.
did. It should come up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can you
So,
see it? Okay.
right. If you have questions, you can always give me a call. I love to talk to people when they're planning. So, okay. All
Perfect.
right.
Okay.
Great. So,
Great.
yeah.
So any other questions aside from she married now, by the way. So, while you asking for them digits, I'm just and I
Yeah,
haven't
well,
really like hung out with her husband, but I could tell already he a little protective. So so,
it'll
so
be
I
all
knew that
right.
wasn't asking for that number.
That's I'm married
Somebody
too.
said I'm married too. That must be Paul.
Right.
Okay.
But yeah,
Okay.
definitely give me a call. We could talk about it. I can set you up in our system, so you can start to get alerts. You can if you come to my website and you actually, it's going to prompt you once you're searching and you provide your information. Uh, you can always just put in the message when I chat, when the message comes, you just say, hey, I'm part of Lisa's group and I want to talk a little bit, and I'll definitely give you a call back.
You get high priority then.
Yes, right. So just let you know, Lisa, take the presentation off so then
Okay.
we don't
Yes,
look
ma'am.
so small.
So y'all see how she bossed me around?
Well, I think is it cheaper to have a home built or move in ready?
Hmm.
I I don't I think it all depends on the area. I really think it's cheaper for move-in ready. To build a home, it's a lot that goes involved in building a home. Um, so
And then
yeah,
the value too. So I think of it from the context of what it's going to be worth, because obviously when you buy a home, you do want to make it, depending on your school of thought. Some people see a home as an asset, some people see a home as a liability, but if you have a home where you owe less than what it's worth, then you at least have equity, and equity
right,
translates into cash. It translates into cash money because you can refinance as a cash out and take money out of your home. So a lot of times what I've seen historically is that new builds have a tendency to not maintain that value. Like it takes a while. I don't know if you have any stats on this, Dion, but I know it
yeah,
takes a while. I think like 7 years or something for the new build to actually kind of catch up, where
catch
it
up with,
becomes a
yeah,
viable asset and you actually begin to start building some kind of equity in it.
right.
Um,
If anything, it's giving equity to the houses, that the existing homes in the
yeah,
area.
around
But
it.
for
Yeah.
your house, is you're just kind of starting out. So
Mhm.
it's better to, so even when you're looking at a house, it's better to look at the houses around you to see what they're doing.
Yeah.
Because then that helps you determine your equity, too, right? So say for instance, just as a tip for you guys coming up, Ashburn, they're getting ready to do a new development over here by the by the where the old Ultra Food was, but it's going to be new Pete's, right? So the new Pete's is over there. There's
Oh.
some land that where Luther South High School is, and they're going to build homes over there. Okay,
Mm.
so now if I'm looking in this area, that tells me I don't have to really go for the new development, but I know that if they're going to build some new homes over there, 4 bed, 3, 4 bedrooms, 2 baths, everybody in the community's equity is going to go up, right?
Yeah.
Same thing is they did build a house near me, $500,000. Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Thank you very much.
Right. So, as my husband say, they said that I got some equity in this house. I said, yes, they did. Like your wife isn't a realtor, but go ahead. So,
I'm gonna
but
give
yeah,
names.
yeah, girl, you got what you doing. I just laugh at him. I'm like, so,
Okay.
but yeah, definitely, so I think, and the other thing too is move-in ready is maybe you something that's been not recently rehab, and new builds, both of them. One is you got to kind of look at the quality of the work as well. So
Yeah.
I see, I have a lot of clients that walk through the house and like, oh, it's so pretty, oh, it's so pretty. Home inspection comes through and things, of course, they pass, but you gotta kind of look at it because over time they're still gonna need some work to be done in the house, and you're still gonna have to plan just the same as as another home. So
Yep. Yep. Very
yeah,
good. That was a great answer.
yeah,
Um, So if there are no more questions, we are going to go ahead and close out. Thank you, everybody who came on, everybody who stayed on, everybody who popped in and popped out. We saw all y'all tonight.
Yes.
And this is another great session. Join us next week. We do have one last session to close us out. We're talking about the actual closing. So those last few things that are kind of, bring this to an end. And then also we're going to touch on just a few things for after closing too, because one of the things we want you guys to keep in mind is that we're not just looking at this transaction, but we're looking at, how are things going to be for you afterward? Like, we don't want people, to be in a house that they don't really like or enjoy, to be in neighborhoods where you're not comfortable, to be poor as far as, your home ownership goes, and you can't do anything because, your mortgage is so much,
Right.
or it's difficult to move in because you spent all the money to get in the house. Now you ain't got nothing.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and we also probably talk about some of those little things that you need to do that sometimes people really think about. I'm pretty sure I got a checklist that
Yeah.
we can go over for things that you want to be prepared for as you actually move into the house. Stuff
Right.
that sometimes we just don't really think about, but we want to make sure you guys are ready. So
Yeah.
again, thank you
Definitely.
so much, everybody. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Dion.
No, I was just gonna just chime in on that and say like gas and electric bill. Make sure you add those things onto important stuff that they need to consider going forward. So.
Yep, absolutely. Well, have a good
Mhm.
night. We're signing off. Thank you so much and be blessed,
Ah,
everybody. We'll see you again next week.
thank
Bye.
you.